Hey there, fiber friends. Today I want to give you a quick tutorial. I've been busy knitting some hats for Christmas, but they need pom-poms, and these lovely buffalo plaid knit hats would look great with a black fur pom-pom. So I'm going to show you real quick how you can make a DIY faux fur pom-pom for your knitted hats. What you're going to need is some fake fur, and you want something that has a long, I don't know, I guess staple length if you're going to compare it to fleece, but something that's, you know, quite fluffy. Scissors. You are going to need some, I'm going to use some worsted weight yarn and a sharp darning needle with a thick eye. Then I'm going to stuff. You just need a tiny bit of stuffing. I'm going to use some leftover yarn that I have here. Something to draw a circle on the back of your fabric. So I'm just going to use this yellow bowl. And since my fabric is black, I'm going to trace that circle onto my fabric using a chalk, like a dressmaker's chalk pencil. But if you had lighter color fabric, you could use whatever you want. So really simple. What I'm going to do is open up my fabric, and you'll see just from the cutting of this square from the store, it's going to shed everywhere. So maybe you need a vacuum to clean up afterwards. But from the back side of my fabric, I'm going to put my circular template on, and the size of your circle is going to determine the size of your pom-pom. And in my opinion, bigger is better. Then I'm just going to go ahead and trace out my circle. And when you're cutting faux fur, you want to cut it from the backside so that you don't chop the locks off as best as you possibly can. So I'm just making like a little nip into the fabric here. And I'm just catching the fabric layer and hopefully not too much of the fur, if that makes sense. And I'm going to cut out my circle along that line. And like if I flip it over, my blade of my scissors is not coming visibly through to the fur. This will help you to minimize some of the mess here. So I finished cutting out my circle of fur, and you'll see you're still going to get some shedding around the edges, and you can just go ahead and pull that shedded fur off. But you don't have any bald spots, and that's the important bit. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut myself a good length of this yarn here and thread my darning needle. And then, real simple, from the back, you're just going to about a little bit less than a centimeter, or for my American friends, something between 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 an inch from the edge. You're just going to want to do a basting running stitch. So real spaced out like that, and you're just going to go all the way around, and having a nice sharp needle here is helpful. Alright, so you can see I've got my running basting stitch all the way around the edge of my circle. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my stuffing, and like I said, I'm just using some leftover ends from weaving and knitting projects. I hold on to those. And then you can tuck that in with your thumb and pull on your basting threads, and it's going to come together into a cute, fluffy, furry pom-pom. So you want to snug them up tight and tie a couple knots down here. And then you can use these threads to sew your pom-pom directly onto the top of your hat. So really simple, straightforward, It takes you less than 5 minutes to make one pom-pom, and real easy for pom-poms for Christmas. I will say this fabric I found in the fabric bolts section at Walmart. It cost me a little more than $5, but if you can't find faux fur fabric, feel free to sacrifice a teddy bear to a good pom-pom cause. Anyways, I'm going to make a couple more of these, sew them onto these hats, and wrap them up for Christmas. And when I'm finished with that, I'm definitely going to need to sweep and vacuum my craft room. That's all for today, and I hope that your holiday crafting is going well. I know I'll be knitting some things right down to Christmas Eve.